This premiere episode of the Clarity Pivot is brought to you by TJB Solutions, your partner in education, creative consulting, and intentional design. Hey, family. Welcome to the Clarity Pivot. I'm your host, Tavares. So, this is a space where I talk through the things that matter to me, the messy things, the honest things, the things we whisper about but rarely name out loud. There's no order to these sessions. It's whatever clarity life hands me in the moment. It may feel random, but the intention is steady to grow, to heal, and to bring you up with me if you're willing to travel this road. And since we're here, let's talk about ghosting. Yes, that sacred practice people have been using in dating, friendships, family dynamics, and every other relationship we pretend doesn't count. You see, family, I had one of those grown up moments recently. You know, the kind that sneaks up on you and taps you gently like, look at you evolving. You see, someone I had already chosen to disengage from reached out. First, it was a simple, just checking on you message, which I ignored. A few days later, another message came, and then a phone call, right in the middle of one of my most vulnerable moments. Now, the old me, the version who would rather lose sleep than to disappoint anyone, would have grabbed that phone like it was a lifeline. I'd slip straight into therapist mode, offering all types of pastoral compassion on demand, trying to tend to emotional fires that I didn't even start. But instead, I did something different. I think it's best that we don't communicate moving forward. I really wish you well. Goodbye. I waited long enough for the person to acknowledge it, which they did with a thumbs up. And then I blocked the number. Yes, I had to sit with myself afterwards like, sir, who are you? And who raised this suddenly healthy man, making healthy man decisions? You see, it was progress, the quiet, sacred kind, the kind where your spirit says, it took a while, but you finally got it. Why this topic was already living with me. The funny part, I had already been thinking about ghosting long before that moment. I'd been saying ghosting isn't a one size fits all villain. There are good reasons and there are bad reasons. You know, self preservation, valid. Safety, absolutely. Clear lack of chemistry, that too. Because when manipulation, gaslighting, or emotional instability are in the mix, even a simple, hey, this isn't working, can become a doorway you regret opening. But there is another side. Sometimes we ghost because we're scared of the conversation, scared to be honest, scared to be the one who says, this isn't it. This is not working for me. And to be honest, it's not working for you either. See, that kind of silence, it can confuse people, it can hurt people, not because we're malicious, but because fear makes cowards of all of us at some point. You see, both truths can exist. Ghosting can be protection, ghosting can also be avoidance. Grown up clarity is knowing which one you're practicing. The pushback and the nuance. A while ago, someone responded to a post I made on Threads. And if you're not connected with me there, come join the conversation at Tavares Teaches. That's spelled TavaresTeaches, no spaces. Same handle on all social media platforms. The clarity that we unpack across my social media platforms is the same energy I'm bringing to this podcast. Also, follow and subscribe to my Substack to keep the conversation going and to receive exclusive insights, early and bonus episodes, and reflections that I will only be sharing with my Substack community. Now back to this response. Now this person came with conviction. They said,
you can always communicate. Safety only matters if you're literally fleeing danger. Silence is emotional immaturity.
And you know what? That was an honest take. I respected it. But I replied with something I know to be true. Communication is ideal, but communication isn't always safe. Some people escalate through text, some guilt trip, some manipulate, some do not accept no in any dialect of English or human emotion. And in those cases, silence isn't maturity, it's safety, it's survival. They responded,
Well, if you communicate once and the person escalates, stopping communication isn't ghosting, it's clarity.
and honestly, that's where we met in the middle. That's where nuance lives, not in the extremes, but in the clarity. My truth. Now, here's where this lands for me. I have ghosted because I didn't want to hurt someone. I have also ghosted because I needed to stay safe, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And those two decisions live in very different neighborhoods. I'm learning that I want to be someone who communicates clearly when I can, someone who honors endings with respect, someone who doesn't disappear out of fear. But I also want to be someone who knows when silence isn't rude, it's required. That moment of clarity didn't need a monologue, it didn't need guilt, it didn't need a long goodbye. It needed one sentence and a door closing with dignity. What I know now. Here's the clarity. We don't owe people prolonged access when our peace becomes expensive, but we do owe ourselves honesty. Is this silence fear or is it protection? Avoidance or safety? A boundary or an escape? These questions don't belong to judgment, they belong to growth. And that is what the Clarity Pivot is all about. Before we wrap, I want to hear from the community. How do you honor endings? Where do you choose silence? And where do you choose courage? Your story holds clarity too. Share your thoughts with me on threads at Tavares Teaches or anywhere you follow me online. This space grows because we grow together. Thank you for listening. Move with intention, love with boundaries, and always choose peace like your spirit depends on it. Until we meet again, next time at the Clarity Pivot. This is your host, Tavares.